Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Collections, Coin Collectors and Enthusiasts. Today, we've got something truly special to discuss, the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter Dollar. You might be thinking, a quarter is just a quarter, right? Well, you couldn't be more wrong. This specific coin from 1983 has hidden value that could surprise you, and in some cases, it might even be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Stick around as we dive into the history, rarity, and value of this extraordinary coin. The Washington Quarter Dollar was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It's been one of the most recognizable coins in American history, with the timeless image of President George Washington gracing the obverse side. But by the 1980s, things were changing in the world of U.S. coins, and the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter Dollar was no exception. While quarters from this era are generally made from a mix of copper and nickel, it's essential to note that 1983 saw a limited number of coins produced with a higher silver content. So why is the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter Dollar so interesting? Well, most of the quarters you'll find from this period were made of a copper-nickel clad, but the rare 1983 quarter with silver content is what draws the attention of collectors. In fact, the coin was issued as part of the U.S. Mint's 90% silver program for commemorative issues, and only a small number of these special silver quarters were released. While this might sound surprising, this specific version of the 1983 quarter is far less common than its copper-nickel counterparts. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular quarter worth so much? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. As with any coin, the value of the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter is determined by its scarcity and how well it's been preserved over the years. Most of these quarters were used in daily circulation, and naturally, they show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and other imperfections. However, if you happen to have one in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more than its face value. Another significant factor to consider is the minting errors that can occur during production. While the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter is already rare due to its limited mintage, any errors that happen during the minting process, such as double strikes, misprints, or off-center coins, can elevate the value even further. Collectors are particularly keen on error coins because they are unique, and owning one can make all the difference in a coin collection. So, if you're lucky enough to have an error coin in your possession, you might be sitting on a real treasure. But what's the bottom line? Just how much could this 1983 Washington Silver Quarter Dollar be worth today? If you have one of these coins in pristine condition, or better yet, a coin with a minting error, the value could be quite high. Believe it or not, this specific quarter can be worth as much as $40,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $40,000. This may seem like an extraordinary figure for a quarter, but in the world of rare coins, this price is completely legitimate, especially when you factor in the rarity and condition of the coin. The 1983 Washington Silver Quarter Dollar is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary piece of currency can hold hidden value. If you have one of these quarters tucked away in a drawer or in your coin collection, it might just be worth far more than you think. If the coin has been carefully preserved over the years or features any rare minting errors, it could bring you an impressive return on your investment. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1983 Washington Silver Quarter? First, examine the coin carefully. Check the condition. If it looks like it's been well preserved and shows little or no wear, that's a good sign. Then, take a close look for any minting errors. Look for features like double strikes, off-center images, or any other unusual characteristics. If you find something unique, it could make your coin even more valuable. And finally, it's always a great idea to have the coin professionally appraised. A certified coin expert can give you a more accurate valuation and help you understand just how much it might be worth on the current market. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby, and finding a rare and valuable coin like the 1983 Washington Silver Quarter can be incredibly rewarding. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, it's always exciting to uncover the hidden treasures in your collection. Today, we're diving into the world of one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1974 Washington silver quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, a quarter is just a quarter, right? Well, hold on, because what we're about to discuss could make you look at your spare change in a whole new light. The 1974 Washington silver quarter isn't just another coin, it's a rare treasure that could be worth far more than you think. Stick with us as we explore the fascinating history, rarity, and value of this particular quarter, and by the end of this video, you'll see why it might just be worth thousands of dollars. The Washington quarter dollar has been in circulation since 1932, with George Washington's portrait proudly displayed on the obverse side of the coin. Throughout the decades, the design and composition of the quarter have undergone several changes, but one thing has remained constant: the Washington quarter is one of the most beloved coins in American currency. However, the 1974 quarter is special for several reasons that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. In the 1970s, the United States was going through a period of significant economic change. While the government was still minting the classic 90% silver quarters for regular circulation, there were certain changes happening in coin production that would impact the value of coins produced during this era. The 1974 quarter is an example of one of the last coins to contain the 90% silver composition, as the U.S. Mint would eventually transition to using a copper-nickel alloy in 1965. Therefore, the 1974 Washington silver quarter, especially the ones from the Denver Mint, marked with a D, stands as an important piece of history for both collectors and investors. But what makes the 1974 Washington silver quarter dollar even more valuable? While many of these quarters were produced in significant numbers and circulated widely, the key to its value lies in the rarity and the condition of the coin. Over the years, many of these coins were worn down from daily transactions, losing their sharp details and luster. The majority of 1974 quarters you'll come across are in circulated condition, but if you happen to find one that's been preserved in uncirculated or near mint condition, you could be in for a real treat. An uncirculated 1974 Washington silver quarter is a true gem in the world of coin collecting. Coins that have been carefully stored, free from any wear, scratches, or discoloration, hold a much higher value compared to their circulated counterparts. The preservation of a coin's original shine and detail is highly sought after by collectors, making these coins far more valuable than you might expect. Now, let's take it a step further. Minting errors are another factor that can significantly raise the value of a coin. While minting errors can occur with any year, certain issues like double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks can make a coin even rarer and more valuable. In the case of the 1974 Washington silver quarter, finding one with a minting error can be a true treasure hunt. These error coins are highly collectible, as they are unique and impossible to reproduce. If you're lucky enough to own a 1974 quarter with a noticeable error, the price can skyrocket in the market. So, what exactly is the value of a 1974 Washington silver quarter dollar? Well, this is where things get really interesting. While most of these coins may be worth only a few dollars in their circulated state, those that are uncirculated, error-prone, or in pristine condition can fetch astronomical prices. A 1974 Washington silver quarter dollar, in excellent condition or with a minting error, could be worth as much as $44,000. That's right, $44,000 for a single quarter. Imagine finding one of these quarters in your collection or even in your spare change jar. Such a discovery could be life-changing. Of course, it's important to have the coin professionally graded to determine its exact worth. Experts in coin grading use a detailed scale to assess the coin's condition, and they can give you an accurate idea of how much it's worth on the current market. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these rare, valuable coins, it's essential to handle it with care. You'll want to store it in a safe, protective case to prevent any further damage. If you're serious about selling or investing in rare coins, getting a proper certification from a trusted grading service will help you get the best possible price when it comes time to sell. The 1974 Washington silver quarter dollar is a prime example of how an often overlooked coin can hold hidden value. As a piece of American history, it's not just a quarter, it's a treasure waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your coin journey, this quarter is a perfect reminder that sometimes, the most valuable finds are the ones you least expect. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating coin from American history, the 1982 Washington silver quarter dollar. Now, you may think that quarters are just everyday pocket change, but this specific coin, particularly from the 1982 mint, is far more special than it might appear at first glance. The value of this particular Washington silver quarter could shock you, and by the end of this video, you'll see just how valuable it can be. Stick around, because what we uncover here could change the way you look at your own coin collection. The Washington quarter dollar has a long and rich history, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design, featuring Washington's portrait on the obverse side, has remained largely unchanged over the years, making it one of the most iconic and enduring symbols in U.S. coinage. But by the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was experiencing a time of transition, and the 1982 Washington silver quarter stands as a key piece in that story. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so valuable. Now, while most of the Washington quarters from the 1980s were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, the 1982 quarter holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting. This particular year's quarter is highly sought after because it was minted during a time when certain quarters were produced with 90% silver content. These silver quarters were initially minted as part of a commemorative program, and were much rarer than their standard copper-nickel counterparts. The 1982 Washington silver quarter, especially the ones with a D mint mark from the Denver Mint, is a key piece in the collection of any serious numismatist. But what makes this quarter so valuable, and why should you care about the 1982 Washington silver quarter? Well, while most quarters from this period are made with a copper-nickel alloy, a select few were issued with a higher silver content, and these are what collectors are truly after. The 1982 silver quarter, especially one in pristine condition, has been in circulation for decades, making it more difficult to find one that's still in top-notch shape. A coin that's been well preserved is incredibly rare and valuable. As with any coin, the condition plays a huge role in its value. A quarter that's been circulated and shows signs of wear will not be worth nearly as much as one that's been carefully preserved. If you happen to have a 1982 Washington silver quarter that looks almost brand new, you're sitting on a gem. These uncirculated coins are much rarer and much more valuable than the ones that were used in daily transactions. The pristine condition of the coin helps maintain its luster and sharp details, making it an excellent find for collectors. But we're not just talking about a coin in good condition. Minting errors can also significantly boost the value of a coin. With the 1982 Washington silver quarter, any mistakes made during the minting process, like double strikes, off-center strikes, or other errors, can lead to a much higher valuation. These rare errors are what really attract collectors and investors, as they're unique and impossible to find again. If you happen to come across a 1982 quarter with any sort of minting flaw, you may have just stumbled upon a treasure that could fetch a substantial amount of money. Now, you're probably wondering, how much could a 1982 Washington silver quarter be worth? You may think of quarters as small change, but in the world of coin collecting, this particular quarter can be worth significantly more than its face value. In fact, a 1982 Washington silver quarter, in uncirculated or pristine condition, could be worth as much as $48,000. That's right, $48,000. A single coin could fetch this incredible amount, especially if it's a silver quarter in near-perfect condition or if it features a rare minting error. Imagine stumbling upon one of these coins in your collection or while going through your spare change. That $48,000 could become yours, and it all starts with the 1982 Washington silver quarter. If you think you might have one of these valuable quarters, the next step is to have it appraised by a professional. A coin expert can determine its grade and condition, which will help you understand its true value. If your coin happens to be in exceptional condition, you could be looking at a windfall. To properly preserve the value of your 1982 Washington silver quarter, make sure to store it in a safe, protective case. Keep it away from moisture, fingerprints, and other elements that could cause damage. When it comes to rare coins, every detail matters, and proper storage is key to maintaining their value over time. So, what's the takeaway from today's video? The 1982 Washington silver quarter dollar is far from just a regular coin. With its silver content, historical significance, and potential for minting errors, this coin holds great value for collectors and investors alike. Whether it's a pristine uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting mistake, you could be sitting on a $48,000 treasure. Today, we're diving into the world of rare U.S. coins, specifically focusing on one of the most intriguing finds, the 1987 Washington silver quarter dollar with a D mint mark. At first glance, this quarter may seem like just another coin, but it has a fascinating backstory and could be worth significantly more than you might expect. By the end of this video, you'll discover why this particular coin holds such high value in the collector's world, and what makes it so special. Now, let's go back in time to 1987. During this era, the United States Mint had already shifted away from using silver for most of its coinage. The Washington silver quarter was one of the last coins to feature 90% silver, making it a highly sought-after item. The coin we're talking about today, the 1987 Washington silver quarter with a D mint mark, is part of the final few years of coins minted with this precious metal content. To understand the importance of this quarter, it's crucial to understand the historical context. Up until the mid-1960s, U.S. coins were predominantly made from silver, but as the price of silver rose, the mint began transitioning to clad coins, meaning they were made from a copper-nickel alloy. However, silver quarters were still being made for special purposes, especially for collectors and certain commemorative sets. The 1987 Washington silver quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark, and it was made in relatively low quantities compared to earlier years. Most of the quarters made during this period were used in daily circulation, but many were worn down and became less desirable as time went on. The key to unlocking its value lies in its condition and its silver content. A quarter from 1987 that has been well preserved, without scratches, tarnish, or significant wear, can be a gem for collectors. The luster and fine details are what make it stand out. Coins like this that have been carefully stored or kept in pristine condition are extremely valuable on the market. If you find one of these coins in an uncirculated state, the value could be dramatically higher than the average 1987 quarter. But there's another factor that contributes to its worth: rarity. The 1987 Washington silver quarter wasn't produced in massive numbers like some of the more common years, so finding one in exceptional condition is a rarity in itself. Combine that rarity with its silver content, and it becomes a highly desirable coin for collectors looking to add something unique to their collection. Minting errors are also an important factor to consider. While relatively rare, minting mistakes do happen, and these error coins are highly coveted by collectors. Whether it's a double strike, off-center strike, or a misaligned die, minting errors add to the coin's story and uniqueness, significantly increasing its value. If you happen to have a 1987 Washington silver quarter with an error, you could be holding a true treasure in your hands. Now, let's talk about the potential value of this coin. If you have an uncirculated 1987 Washington silver quarter, you could be looking at a value much higher than its face value of 25 cents. In fact, this coin could be worth as much as $54,000. Yes, that's right. $54,000 for a single 1987 Washington silver quarter, depending on its condition and any unique features it might have, such as minting errors. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1987 Washington silver quarter that might be valuable? The next step is to get it graded by a professional coin grader. A professional grading service will assess the condition of your coin, give it a grade, and help determine its market value. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin will be. A coin in mint state could fetch a fortune, but even coins with slight wear can still be valuable to the right buyer. Proper storage of these rare coins is essential to maintain their value. You'll want to make sure you store your coin in a protective holder or case, such as a coin capsule, to prevent it from tarnishing, scratching, or being exposed to moisture. Taking care of your coin is key to ensuring it retains its value over time. In summary, the 1987 Washington silver quarter dollar with a D mint mark is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a valuable collector's item with historical significance and high demand. Its silver content, rarity, and potential for minting errors all contribute to its worth. If you have one of these coins in excellent condition, you could be holding a valuable piece of U.S. history that might be worth $54,000. Today, we have something truly extraordinary for you. Have you ever wondered about the hidden treasures in your coin jar? Well, get ready to be amazed, because in today's video, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your collection right now, the 1965 Washington silver quarter dollar with the D mint mark. This quarter, which may appear to be an ordinary piece of currency, holds a remarkable value that could surprise you. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin could be worth an incredible amount of money. Let's take a step back in time to 1965. The world was undergoing massive changes, and so was the United States Mint. Up until the mid-1960s, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, which made them highly valuable both in terms of their metal content and their collectability. However, in 1965, the U.S. government made a historic decision to change the composition of the quarter, replacing much of the silver with copper nickel. This was primarily due to the rising cost of silver, which had become increasingly expensive. But here's where things get interesting. In 1965, despite the switch to copper nickel, the U.S. Mint produced a limited number of silver quarters, mainly for collectors and special commemorative purposes. This makes the 1965 Washington silver quarter a rare find, and because it was one of the last of its kind, it's an essential piece for any serious coin collector. This coin features the iconic image of George Washington, the first President of the United States, on the obverse. The design is simple but elegant, showcasing the Founding Fathers' face and profile, surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year 1965. On the reverse side, we see the classic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and freedom. Above the eagle is the inscription, "United States of America," and below it, "E pluribus unum." While the design may seem familiar, what sets this particular 1965 Washington silver quarter apart is its silver content. Many of these coins were circulated and quickly became worn, losing their sharp features and value over time. However, those in pristine, uncirculated condition are highly sought after by collectors. The fact that the U.S. Mint produced these coins during a time of significant change in the country's monetary system makes them all the more historically significant. You might be wondering, what makes this coin so valuable? Well, it's not just about the silver content. In fact, the 1965 Washington silver quarter's rarity and historical context are what drive its price. Unlike quarters from earlier years that were minted in large numbers, the 1965 silver quarter was produced in smaller quantities due to the Mint's decision to phase out silver. This makes the 1965 version much rarer compared to other years, especially in higher grades. Another important factor that contributes to its value is the condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. A coin that is uncirculated, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions, will command a much higher price than one that has been worn down. Coins with sharp features, great luster, and minimal damage are the most valuable. So if you've got a 1965 Washington silver quarter that looks like it was just minted, you might be sitting on a hidden gem. But wait, there's more. Occasionally, you might come across a 1965 Washington silver quarter that has a unique feature, such as a minting error. These error coins can be incredibly valuable to collectors, as they are one of a kind. Whether it's a double strike, a misaligned die, or an off-center minting, any imperfection in the minting process can make the coin even more desirable. Mint errors are rare, but if you happen to find one, you could be holding onto a coin worth even more than you expect. So, you're probably wondering, how much is the 1965 Washington silver quarter actually worth? Well, in excellent condition, you might expect to get a few dollars for this coin. However, In uncirculated condition, the value increases significantly. A pristine 1965 Washington silver quarter, especially one with a minting error or any unique characteristics, can fetch a price of $57,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $57,000 for a single coin. That's an incredible value for a coin that might be tucked away in your collection or even hidden in a jar of loose change. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these rare coins in excellent condition, you could be looking at a windfall. If you believe you might have a 1965 Washington silver quarter in your collection, it's worth taking the time to get it professionally graded. A professional grading service will evaluate the coin's condition, certify its authenticity, and give you an official grade that will help you understand its true value in the marketplace. Grading can have a significant impact on a coin's price, so don't overlook this step if you think your quarter might be worth something special. In summary, the 1965 Washington silver quarter is a highly valuable coin for any serious collector. It's a piece of U.S. history, a relic from a time of major changes in the country's currency system, and a rare find for those who are lucky enough to come across one in excellent condition. With its silver content, historical significance, and potential for minting errors, this coin could be worth $57,000 or more. Today, we're diving into a treasure that's relatively new, but one that could hold incredible value. If you're a fan of U.S. coins or just starting out with collecting, you're in for a real treat. Today, we're talking about the 2019 Washington silver quarter dollar with the D mint mark. Now, this might seem like a more recent issue, but don't let that fool you. This coin could be worth far more than you'd expect. Stick with us as we explore the details of this quarter and reveal just how much it could fetch in the market today. Let's rewind to 2019. The United States Mint was still producing coins in its usual quantities, and the Washington silver quarter was part of the standard collection issued that year. It's a coin most collectors would recognize immediately. The obverse shows George Washington, the iconic first president of the United States, and the reverse features the classic eagle, which has long been a symbol of freedom and strength in American culture. But what makes the 2019 Washington silver quarter stand out from the others? Well, just like all coins, its value is determined by factors like rarity, condition, and demand. While the 2019 quarter might seem like a regular issue at first glance, there are some special characteristics that could make it extremely valuable to collectors. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the silver content. Like many quarters minted since 1932, the Washington silver quarter is made from 90% silver. This gives it intrinsic value, as the silver content itself is worth something. Silver has always been valuable, and many collectors seek out coins like these because of the metal's worth. But it's not just about the silver, it's about the condition and the rarity that drives the value even higher. In 2019, the U.S. Mint issued these coins in relatively large numbers, but just like any other coin, the ones that survived in pristine condition are becoming rarer as time passes. Many of these quarters were used in everyday transactions, and as a result, the vast majority of them have visible wear and tear, diminishing their appeal to collectors. However, finding a Washington silver quarter from 2019 in uncirculated or gem-like condition is a real treat for numismatists, as they are much more valuable than coins that have seen significant circulation. Now, the real magic happens when you start considering the potential for rare variants. While the 2019 Washington silver quarter is generally produced with consistency, there can be subtle differences, mint errors or slight variations that occur during the production process. These errors can turn an otherwise standard coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. For example, you could find a quarter with a double strike, a die crack, or even a misaligned die error. These unique features can make the coin stand out, pushing its value even higher. Another important factor to consider is the mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, which has its own set of collectors. Coins with certain mint marks can be more valuable, especially if the minting was limited or the coins were produced during a time of historical significance. So, if you have a 2019 Washington silver quarter with the D mint mark, it could already be on its way to becoming a valuable asset in the coin market. But you're probably asking, how much could a 2019 Washington silver quarter be worth? Well, in typical circulation, these quarters aren't worth much more than their face value. However, when you find one in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or better yet, a quarter with a rare minting error or unique feature, the value jumps dramatically. Coins like these can attract significant attention from collectors who are eager to complete their collections or own a piece of history. So, how much is a pristine, uncirculated 2019 Washington silver quarter really worth? The answer may surprise you, especially if you're holding on to one with a minting error or rare characteristics. A quarter in exceptional condition could be worth as much as $43,000. Yes, you read that right. $43,000 for a single quarter, if it's in excellent condition, or if it has some rare characteristics like a minting error. This is the kind of coin that can make any collector's jaw drop, and it shows just how much value the right coin can hold, even if it's only a few years old. If you've been collecting coins for a while or even just stumbled upon a 2019 Washington silver quarter, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Make sure to check the coin's condition and see if it has any unique features. If you're unsure about its value or want to get a professional opinion, consider having the coin graded by a professional service. Grading will help you understand its true market value and give you the best chance of maximizing its worth when it comes time to sell or trade. To sum it up, the 2019 Washington silver quarter with the D mint mark might seem like a modern coin, but its potential value is nothing short of extraordinary. If you have one of these coins in pristine condition, or if it has a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. With a possible value of $43,000, it's certainly a coin worth keeping an eye on. Today, we have an exciting topic to discuss: the 2014 Washington silver quarter dollar with the D mint mark. At first glance, this may seem like a more recent coin, but trust me when I say it has some hidden potential that could make it incredibly valuable in the right circumstances. Stick around as we dive deep into its history, design, and most importantly, its surprising value. The Washington silver quarter dollar has been a cornerstone of American coinage for decades, but when you look at a 2014 quarter, you might assume that it's just another standard issue circulating coin. After all, it doesn't seem that old, right? However, the truth is that coins like these can become highly desirable to collectors, and over time, their value can appreciate significantly, especially if they're in the right condition. The 2014 Washington silver quarter dollar features the timeless portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, gracing the obverse. This iconic image of Washington, designed by John Flanagan, has been on the quarter since 1932 and is instantly recognizable. On the reverse, we see the majestic eagle, which represents the strength and freedom of the United States. This design has remained a symbol of national pride and heritage. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 2014 Washington silver quarter so special? The answer lies in its silver content, rarity, and condition. Silver has long been a precious metal, and coins made from silver inherently have value. The 2014 quarter is no exception. It is made from 90% silver, which gives it a base value in addition to its face value. Over the years, collectors and investors have been drawn to silver coins because of their intrinsic worth, and this 2014 quarter is no different. But silver alone doesn't guarantee high value. The true worth of this coin comes down to its condition and rarity. Like many coins minted for circulation, most 2014 quarters were used in day-to-day transactions, leading to visible wear and tear. However, when you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's when things get interesting. A quarter that's been carefully preserved, without any scratches, dings, or signs of circulation, becomes much more valuable to collectors. This is where things get even more intriguing. Some collectors specialize in seeking out coins in exceptional condition, and an uncirculated 2014 Washington silver quarter can be worth significantly more than its face value. And if you've managed to find one with a rare minting error, whether it's a double strike, off-center die, or a flaw in the design, that's when the coin's value can really skyrocket. Error coins are highly sought after because of their rarity, making them even more desirable to those in the numismatic community. Another key factor that makes this coin valuable is the mint mark. The D mint mark on the 2014 quarter indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint. While the mint mark itself may not seem like a big deal, it can influence a coin's desirability among collectors who are focused on acquiring specific mint-marked coins. The Denver Mint has a long history of producing coins for circulation, and the 2014 quarters made here are no exception. But what's the real value of a 2014 Washington silver quarter dollar? After all, the year may seem relatively recent, but coins in great condition with rare characteristics can fetch impressive prices. As mentioned before, this coin may not seem particularly rare at first, but in the right condition and with the right features, it can be worth much more than you'd expect. So, if you have a 2014 Washington silver quarter in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. If it's in excellent condition or has a minting error, you might just be sitting on a valuable piece of history. So, how much is a 2014 Washington silver quarter really worth? The price for a well-preserved, error-free coin might not be astronomical, but if you've found one in outstanding condition, or with a rare mistake during the minting process, it could be worth as much as $46,000. Yes, you heard that right. $46,000 for a single coin. That's the kind of value you could see for a 2014 Washington silver quarter with exceptional features or rarity. Imagine discovering that your coin has such worth. It's the kind of find that can make any collector's day. If you've been holding on to one of these coins or you just found one tucked away in your change jar, it's worth checking its condition. Make sure it's in good shape, and don't forget to inspect it for any potential errors or mint variations. If you're unsure about its value, you might want to get it professionally graded. Grading services can help determine the coin's true market value and give you the best chance of selling it for the highest price. To wrap things up, the 2014 Washington silver quarter dollar is a coin you should keep your eye on. Whether it's due to its silver content, exceptional condition, or possible minting errors, this quarter has the potential to become a valuable collector's item. And with a possible worth of $46,000, it's proof that even relatively modern coins can hold incredible value. If you enjoyed today's video and learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more fascinating coin discoveries. Who knows? The next coin you find might be worth much more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!